Good morning, Eastern Carolina. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Ellen here on a special Father's Day edition. You may notice we've kind of been shifting some shifts around here recently in the Storm Track 12 Weather Center. That is because Dennis Brown has left us. He's going to Norfolk, Virginia. That now means that Tori Shaw will take over the weekend evening show. And in a couple of weeks, we are awaiting our newest meteorologist, Ellen Baca, who is going to be coming in here. So kind of in between here, we'll get back full staff here in a couple of weeks. But until then, you've got me in on a special Father's Day edition. And I'll tell you what, Father's Day weather that we're all going to love. Plenty of weather, enjoyable weather for outdoor activities, low humidity, so us fathers aren't going to be running that air conditioner for this afternoon. Taking a look at the Storm Track 12 threat tracker, we're going to keep it in the low category. Now, the only risk, though, is northern Outer Banks. North of Ocracoke, headed to the Outer Banks, we do have a high rip current threat risk there, as well as that same area with a small craft advisory. But really, other than a few clouds coming by from time to time, we aren't going to be seeing any more than a few clouds in our forecast in the next couple days or so, which is a good thing because we are actually the time period now that we experience our greatest duration of daylight. Everybody always talks about the day officially summer arrives as being, quote, the longest day of the year, which technically, if you're speaking, the longest day of the year is actually the day that we fall back off of daylight saving time, because that has 25 hours in the day. And of course, the shortest day of the year is when we spring ahead onto daylight saving time in the spring. But we actually have about a 10-day time period, started on the 15th, goes until the 26th, that the duration of daylight is exactly the same for that time period. Exactly 14 hours and 31 minutes, the longest of the entire year. And vice versa, come the winter time, around the winter solstice, is the time that we have the shortest duration of daylight. So this week, plenty of sunshine around and a great weather pattern in store for us here, too. Let's start it off with your Father's Day forecast. Not quite as breezy. Temperatures in the upper 70s and the low 80s. Still northeasterly winds, but not as gusty as the last several days. Pleasant conditions overnight tonight. Again, turn the AC off, leave the windows open, upper 50s and some of the deeper inland spots, maybe mid-50s. Talking about low to mid-60s at the beaches. Mixture of sun and clouds around for tomorrow. Still comfortable, though. A little bit warmer than today. Talking about low 80s for inland spots. Now, here's what we have going on out in the ocean. See the storm out around Bermuda? That is still kind of clogging up the atmosphere here, so we can't really get the storms to move from west to east as we normally would expect them to be. High pressure off the northern New England coast, wedging all the way down into the deep south across Georgia, Alabama, and even Mississippi. It's got its influence on. There is a storm system that is coming across the Great Lakes, but it's going to basically be running into that dry air with that upper level ridge. And a lot of this has to do with the way the jet stream is configured. That ribbon of air up around 35,000 feet. Well, here's how things are going to play out. The ocean storm will eventually start to lift out. Notice Future Track shows it out of here by the time we hit Tuesday. And then we've got this big upper level ridge that has been kind of sitting out here in the mid-Mississippi Valley. That migrates eastbound, and as a result, takes the storm track well off to the north and west of it, but also all that heat that's been building out here in the Central Plains, that does find its way eventually here into Eastern Carolina as we head on in through this week. So with that upper level ridge still to the west of us on Tuesday, you'll notice a little bit more of a southwesterly flow, but still, and not all the heat coming in just yet. It will really start to build, though, as we go into Wednesday, and especially Thursday and Friday, as that upper-level heat ridge just basically sits right in over us, and as a result, we're going to watch temperatures really start to build. So kind of a half-and-half week this week. Cooler, less humid conditions to start off with. A few clouds coming in the next couple days will be the sign of the warmer air coming in, and then we get the heat and humidity in here by the end of the week. Future Track's got a pretty good handle on it here. Maybe a few more clouds along the Outer Banks, and even maybe a spotty sprinkle, not completely out of the question. But then as we go on through the day tomorrow, we'll notice light and variable winds. That storm tries to make its way in here. However, we do notice kind of nothing more than some high-level cloudiness around as most of the action with this system goes off to the north. And again, that's going to be the sign of the warmer air moving in. And as a result, we look for those southwesterly winds really start to kick in. Somewhat on Tuesday, but especially as we go in through the second half of this week and really start to boost our temperatures up to the levels where we're going to be seeing highs into the 90s. Now, again, comfortable weather as we go on through the day today, talking about upper 70s at the beaches, maybe low 80s for inland spots. Overnight tonight, we see Future Track picking up on some of those deeper inland spots. with some of those temperatures into the upper 50s. And then we'll load as temperatures warmer for tomorrow, talking about mid-80s in store for us. And then the heat really start to build in here as that upper level ridge gets off the coast. And we'll really, just in time for summer to arrive on Wednesday at 7:09 in the evening. We'll be up near that 90-degree mark. And then the heat and humidity stays into the low to mid-90s as we go in through this upcoming end of the week. Maybe a front tries to get in here late Saturday going into Sunday with some scattered showers and storms around, but really don't expect to see a whole lot of chance of rainfall anytime soon coming into the neighborhood here in Eastern Carolina. And probably that'll be the case as we go through much of the month of June and even into July. Have yourself a good Father's Day for all of us fathers out there. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still.